get my 6. What's up, guys? So we're out here. The wind's whipping up. There has not been a wind or a breeze all day. So we may have company here soon. I'm at a spot where the veil is pretty thin. It's where field meets forest. And it's almost a time of day when the veil grows even thinner. It's coming on evening, not quite. It's a little early. I just heard a tree knock. Here they come. So make sure to get my 6. I've had a very long day. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, working off and on throughout the day with my editor, who is not here. And that's all I'll say. There's a major time zone difference. So it's been a very long day. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to tell you where we stand, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about language, because at times I feel as if I'd forgotten my own. You know, I spent many years living overseas. I spent years speaking foreign languages in order to be able to communicate with locals where I lived. Then I come back and I thought I was starting to really remember how to speak American English. There's so many different dialects. There's different accents. You know, I'm in the South, and it's not so much a Southern accent I have a problem with, because that's kind of comes natural to me. It's the mincing of words among yuppie Americans that I just, I used to speak that language. I used to understand it clearly because I used to, live among such people and work with them. But I guess, 8 years overseas, Middle East, Southeast Asia, I just forgot, what they mean. I don't know, whatever. Let me tell you where we stand with the anthology, okay? Yeah, I see it. Keep your eyes on it. Watch for movement. We're finished. I mean, I submitted the manuscript that I'd gone through 5 times myself, 5 drafts, yesterday morning, and my editor confirmed that he got it. Then yesterday evening he said, "Hey, I'm going to start working on this thing." It was almost morning his time. I don't know, the time difference is it's crazy, but he says, "I want you to be awake at 3 a.m. so I can submit to you the first round of approvals. If I change things, I want you to approve these things." I heard footsteps, and then the wind just picked up. Okay, so I get up 3 o'clock, drinking coffee, and I went to bed at 10, which is a little bit earlier than I usually do. So I had 5 hours of sleep. I was okay. So he's we're emailing back and forth, and it wasn't instant messenger, no live chat type thing. It's traditional email. My editor is old school, and so he sends me an email and he says, "We have a problem." I'm like, "Oh, great. What?" So I said, "What?" And he messages back and he says, "You've pretty much done all my work for me." He says, "I've gotten into this thing, and it's really I'm not editing anything. I'm just proofreading what is already near perfectly written." I'm like, "So where's the problem?" And he goes, "I can't believe you pay me for this." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have to. I mean, I can keep my money." And he says, No, I need it." And he does. I know where he is. Trust me, I've been where he is. He needs the money. So he says, "Just sit tight." I'm like, "What do you mean sit tight? It's 3:23 or something a.m. He just sat tight. Let me get through some more of this. So I sat tight, drinking coffee, watching like stupid videos on YouTube, because there's like all kinds of stupid videos on YouTube. And like an hour goes by. Did you hear that? That was a very loud, distinct tree knock. And it wasn't far away. Came from back here. So let's change our angle here a little bit. Keep getting my 6. Where was I? Okay, so anyway, he messages back around 5:30 and he says, hey, go ahead and go do your mountain bike ride or whatever. I'm like halfway through this thing. And I'm like, well, where are these changes or edits you want me to approve? He's like, dude, there is none. He said, I've caught a couple typos and a couple erroneously used synonyms, like, words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently and have different meanings, like week and week. Like W-E-E-K is like 7 days, and W-E-A-K means you lack strength, stuff like that. And a lot of times that's spell check. I mean, I know the obvious difference between those two, but when you type in these state-of-the-art, things, whatever they're called, Word doc stuff, programs, they don't know really what you mean. So sometimes they'll make changes incorrectly. So anyway, he had to fix some of the stuff like that. So I went out and did my bike ride thing, came back, and basically by like late morning, it was like 10:30 or 11, he said, dude, you're good to go to print. I'm like, are you sure? And he said, yeah. He's like, you are so clean and you're so tight. And the reason I do it, and I've said this in other videos, I want it to say what I mean it to say. I don't want the story to end up saying what my editor thought I meant to say. It's a big difference. You can completely lose the point if you have an editor that goes in there and changes 2 or 3 things because you were being lazy and you weren't clear enough in what it was you were actually meaning to say. So anyway, that's what we've done. We've gone to print. So, I mean, here's an update. This major, massive anthology, this epic saga told in 31 parts, this Halloween collection, is at the printers, and it's just a matter of hours, not days, but hours before it's going to be available in ebook, and maybe up to a day or so more than that before it's available in print version. Now, being that it is an epic saga, it should be no surprise to anybody that it is by far the longest manuscript I had ever written. It ended up being more than, you see that? Watch. Right back there. Ooh, yeah, watch it. I saw it moving around. It's more than 90,000 words long. Far longer than my previous longest work, which was Isle of Capri. Now, price-wise, of course it's more, but mostly just with the ebook version. The ebook version is $6.99, and I think Isle of Capri was $4.99. But print copy, we were able to keep it at $14.99, just like my other full-length novels, like Isle of Capri, From the Graves of Babes, Serial Street. No, wait, that's not available in print yet through Amazon. Off Switch, the box, those. And we're just hours away from publication. So, that's the good news, and trust me, as soon as they're available, you better believe I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to finally tell you the name of the book and give you the link where you can get it, which will be the same link as the one in the description box of this video where you can get my other works. But now this whole language thing, this is what I'm talking about here. I don't get it. Like this mincing of words. I went to my kid's school the other day to pick up his laptop because the school, it's a wealthy school district. They're able to issue all the kids a Dell laptop. And it's our tax dollars at work. We pay a lot of taxes around here. So it's not like they're doing us a favor, but at least they're using our tax dollars wisely and in an advantageous way for our children's future. I'm happy about that, okay? So I go pick up his Dell, come home. Dude, you got a Dell. He doesn't know what that means. Those commercials were long gone before he was born. But so the woman handing out the laptops, she had to reset his password or something so that they were all in sync. And she hands it to me, and they all got their masks on. I got my mask on because we're in public. And she says, she goes, I would encourage you to encourage him not to change his password. And I'm like, I'll do something better than just encourage him not to change his password. And she goes, and of course the mask on. I said, I will tell him not to change his password. Well, I guess that was the wrong answer. Because then what I got was, it's like, you need to understand, if he changes his password, we'll have to get in sync here and we'll just be going back and forth over and over every time he changes his password. So please, I want to encourage you to encourage him not to change his password. I said, hey, I get it. I get it, lady. I get it so much, I will do something even better than encourage him not to change his password. And again, I'm like, I will tell him, do not change your password. Man, obviously, I didn't get it. Because she's like, you're not getting this. If he changes his password, we will have to resync from here. There will be confusion. I'm pleading with you. Please encourage him not to change his password. I'm like, man, I know I lived overseas all those years. Historico Visayan, Ichaka Kesaboko Visayan, Coalam Tagalog. I just said I speak. I understand Visayan and Tagalog. I've lost a lot of my memory of Kurdish. Chawani Boshia means hello, how are you? Gaelic Juwana means you're very beautiful. But I don't speak that fluently because it's been a decade since I used to speak in that language. But it's like, how could I have forgotten my native language of English, American English? And so the whole way home, I'm so confused because this isn't the first time this has happened since I've been back. Now, I remember when I got here, we bought the homestead. I wanted to buy like a banana tree because we grew bananas in our backyard in the Philippines. Listen to that. Listen to me making it sound like we actually grew banana trees. You know what? They just popped up like weeds everywhere. So we had banana trees in our backyard in the Philippines. So I found a nursery that had banana trees. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to buy a banana tree and plant it down here by our pond for my beautiful bride, Dearly, a.k.a. Giggly Girl, to help her feel like she's at home. So I'm looking at this banana tree, and here's this lady working at the nursery, and she asked me if I had any questions. I'm like, yeah. I said, I know we're in Virginia, and it's pretty warm here, pretty temperate. We had pretty temperate winters, but it's not tropical. I said, if I buy this banana tree and plant it by my pond, will it make it through the winter? And she goes, these banana trees are not winter hardy. And I'm like, thinking, what does that mean? I said, okay, so if I buy this, because, I explained to her, my wife's from the Philippines. I lived there for all these years. it's like I want to kind of help her feel like, she's at home. If she could just sit on our porch and see this beautiful banana tree down here by the pond every day, that would really help her. But if I do that, will it survive the winter? And again, the woman says, these banana trees are not winter hardy. And here I'm like thinking, gosh, I can't believe I was gone for so long that I forgot how to speak my own language. So I thought, well, okay, dumb it down a little bit. For me, not her. Obviously, I'm the guy that's not very bright, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to ask you a yes or no question. You're only allowed to answer either yes or no. If I buy this banana tree and I plant it by my pond, will it live through the winter? Will it come back up and still be alive and grow next spring? And she was like this. I was like, she might need to go sit on a commode or something. She looks like she's stopped up. That's what I'm thinking. And all of a sudden she says it again. These banana trees are not winter hardy. I said, so if I buy this and I plant it by my pond, it's going to die this winter. She said, yes. I was like, geez. I've got to go to like a local bookstore or something and find like a translation book to translate what these people mean when they mince their words in such a way and say these things. When did just common, simple language go by the wayside? I know a lot of it has to do with living in a university town. But God, we're not all professors and scientists. Oop. All right, so anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. When the book's actually available in print and Kindle, which will be soon, I'm going to come back and let you know the title, give you the link. And so just want to make sure I talked about something to give us plenty of time to get my six back here. And so I just thought I'd talk about how I thought I understood their language, but obviously I don't. And I need to go. I'm going to get to bed early tonight. I've been up since 3, like I said, no naps. So I'm exhausted. A 7-year, almost 10-year project of which I've really just crammed in hour after hour after endless hour, day after day after endless day for the last 3 or 4 months nonstop has finally come to an end. I might fall asleep tonight and not wake up for the next couple of days. But when I do, I'll give you any and all updates. Thanks for being here with me for another episode of the PBS the Potential Bigfoot Sasquatch Show. See you for more next time.